Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to what is known in the business as a target-rich environment here in Total War Warhammer 3, where we had to figure out how we're going to deal with the fact that there are still hostile things just on every goddamn side of me. First things first, this orc faction has just spawned in the area. Can we make friends? Can we talk at all? No, they do not. They do not care for my ass. Alright, that's fine. I was kind of hoping we could get them to agree to, like, work the Khemri with us, you know? No such luck. Alright, so King Neferkara is here. He's being reinforced soon by King Thutmokris, but I don't think he's quite close enough yet to serve as a reinforcing army.
You might be right.
Oh, I guess I'm wrong. So when I mouse over Zandri, well, actually, hold on. The tooltip being generated by Zandri is kind of in the way. No. When if I attack Zandri, Thutmokris does not get to show up as reinforcements. If I attack Neferkara directly, he does. Although, of course, we could do a lightning strike battle there and just eliminate this army in the open and then take the settlement. Do you have any idea what's in this stack? We don't. No, Len is... That's right. Len is dead again. We could just head over there and find out the old-fashioned way.
I'll ignore that.
This Reich Admiral is on his way in. And Vinny Sawkins is supposed to be joining this army, but he doesn't necessarily have to join it this turn. Can you go get me some information? Let's see if Vinny will be able to pull the composition of this force for me. What he knows is not super promising.
This is forbidden.
Yeah, so we know they have at least 3 units of Tomb Guard. They have some Sepulchral Stalkers. Thutmokris himself is only a tier 2 lord, though. Is only a level 2 lord. His troops are tired. I don't know. That might be a tricky one to survive. Because I'm thinking if we run over here and we take Zandri, or burn it to the ground, potentially. Well, you know what? If I burn it, we'll probably retreat from it some considerable distance. And then if he comes to attack us, we can just retreat again and hopefully be within reinforcement range of Al-Haik. Actually, I like that quite a bit. Let's go burn this. This should damage them quite badly.
I'll have them.
Well, I'm a little worried. The way she stuck to the road there makes me think that when she backs off, she's going to go in the wrong direction here. I'm still doing it. Oof, low casualties. Repeat that to those sirens, would you? It's an awful lot of money to be had here from burning this shit to the ground. And it's not that I don't want to occupy it, but I think I do want to back off first. So yeah, we burn it. She continues to gain a reputation from raising enemy settlements. And also, we get very rich. Ooh, and the Talisman of Endurance is actually a good talisman. I think she has a decent one already, right? She got that luck stone. I think I might let her keep the luck stone. And we'll just give this one to Pete.
Has the crew's respect.
Pete has unfortunately we've just gotten a lot of garbage talismans, frankly. Okay, we only have 1 enchanted item that's staying on Aranessa. Yeah, this is all fine. Have we picked up any other ancillaries for you? Nope, the only thing we have is a spare ship's necromancer. Okay. Anyway. So, Thutmokris could come over here and attack us. You know, one thing that is nice, we really fell back an incredible distance there. One thing that is nice is that we fell back into our territory at least. So we're getting the good replenishment. All right, as soon as you've spent even 1 point in this red box, you unlock this thing, which replaces whatever skill you got in the middle of the line with something better. In this case, 20-second duration, 35-meter range. Yeah, that's a lot of leadership and damage for melee units. As long as she's hanging out with like the Sirens and the Depth Guard, this should be pretty solid. And then Pete, what do we know about Cetra? So we can see 3 units of Tomb Guard. We can also see that he has some Skeleton Warriors, which is not usually the sign of an army that's doing great. But as much as I would like to turn around with Pete and just attack him, I think we gotta finish this, right? The final army and the final settlement of this faction are in the same place.
Cleanse them of life.
Let's just go cleanse them of life, like Pete's saying. He knows what's up. Yeah, this is not a real army. Peasant mobs are not... No. How dare you? How dare you bring this garbage into my empire? Alright, we have reclaimed the province. Let's grab magical reserves, just a little bit more magic in the pool, and next level we can grab arcane conduit and get all those extra wins to work with, and we will mostly heal up. If Cetra were to attack the Caliph's palace right now, it would probably end badly for us, but at least we're trying. Do I want to spend a bunch of money on that? Also, the faction was not destroyed, which is a little... Is there a settlement I'm missing somewhere? Maybe they have an army left that... what am I doing? I want the diplomacy window.
For Britannia.
Oh, yeah, right. We haven't... I knew that. I knew that was the thing. We were taking that out last.
Plunder.
Yeah, is Aranessa allowed to go into...
More bodies washed
She
up.
totally is. So we can improve her buildings. That's probably the thing I want to focus on. The ability to hire rotting Prometheans is definitely interesting. This is more infamy per turn. I do wish that they showed you the differences a little bit more clearly. Like where it says infamy gained plus 15 per turn. I'd love like a little note that this is 5 more than your current rank. Yeah, this is okay. What else would I... Oh, this is worthwhile. This is a worthwhile upgrade. Lets us get monster units, and more importantly, gets us a little bit closer to the old rotting Leviathan. Or I could just save, because, you know, it would be awesome to have a great cabin. Yeah, this unlocks an additional... Oh, no, okay, it was getting to here that unlocked the +1 for Vampire Fleet Captains. But yeah, this'll unlock the top level of the of all of the recruitment buildings, which is really important. So let's save for that then. We should probably go ahead and run that plus growth commandment.
Fleet captain reporting.
And Wendy... So we have somebody running north to try to take over, to try to hit the treasure maps that are up here. This one is a miserly hoard of treasure. That one is a great hoard of treasure. So we could have Wendy sail north. Yeah, there's something else going on down here. We could have Wendy sail north and see if maybe... oh, there's 2 treasure maps up here. And they're both great hoards. Yeah, there's a pretty important Dark Elf city up at the mouth of the Sea of Malice. We might want to see if that place's harbor is developed.
Fleet captain reporting. Sail away.
So we'll head up this way.
Wave treading.
Try to make sure she's turning around as sharply as possible. All right, let's see what our enemies do with this.
My faith in you wanes.
That's a lot of units of Tomb Guard. Oof, and monsters, and this is a real army. I guess we'll see what they do with it. they could maybe chase us. Like, they might have enough movement that if the army that's in that southern city goes into march mode, runs at us, and then Thermocris attacks us, you know, with that other guy around, so that they would be going 2 armies to 1. It might have been the case that even if we had retreated in that situation, they'd have enough movement to catch up with us. Okay, that guy's in ambush mode, and he's right there. That said, the fact that I know his precise position doesn't necessarily completely undo the ambush, because I still can't interact with that army if I can't see it. So we can't attack him if the stealth holds or anything like that. Oh, hey, dwarves. Right. Don't suppose we can get that dwarf army to agree to, like, peace. Okay, I did not defeat the exotic goods hauler. That's true, I didn't. I would have liked to have, it's just a lot going on. Okay. So Thutmocris did not successfully remain stealthed. Out of curiosity, that bar is pretty close to 50-50. Alright, so I need Pete. I think Pete swings around south here.
March, you dead curs!
And we move on the Great Desert. And, like, I probably do want to crush this army if I can, right?
Brine for blood!
That's a non-zero if, though. I think I'm going to get rid of the last unit of deck droppers.
Scales and salt!
We're gonna...
Yes!
Can you encircle still? No. Okay. If I turn it to a lightning strike, it's a valiant defeat.
I'll have my revenge!
I was trying to get close enough so that I could put this guy in the army. There we go. And then, yeah, maybe just fall all the way back to Alhaith. No, not the whole army. Oh, that is the movement for the whole army. Weird.
Get moving!
Okay, well. Yeah, we're not getting anything extra out of going into March mode because Vinny having only that much much movement left is limiting the movement of the whole force. So I'm going to go into encampment mode here, mostly because it's going to give us that leadership and melee defense bonus.
Bring them back.
If he attacks us, we can try to cling to that. And it was 18k for the big upgrade, right? Yeah. All right. Still waiting, it turns out.
Or sword, they'll fall. Course plotted. Captain, on deck.
Oh, that's right. I had a mission to capture and occupy. I'm not doing that.
At once.
Alaric Ranulfson might, in fact, probably can take the garrison at Miragliano. How are we doing with you? Where's my allegiance right now?
Make a deal.
34.
Talk at me in your crude language if you must. I make no promises as to the outcome.
Yeah, it does not seem likely that we are going to be able to scare this guy into taking a declaration of peace or anything. Well, the other thing that we can do... I don't think there's a way to see the raised dead pool right now. But a thing that we could do is just start an army right next to Miragliano this turn. This is going to spend a big chunk of our money and make it so that we're not actually close to upgrading our main ship building. But start an army, just raise dead to get troops and try to get to a position where the 14-unit garrison from Maragliano plus that army is enough to ward this dude off.
Big on.
He's suffering attrition damage constantly. His troops that we can see are all good. These Thunderers are rifles. He's got some flamethrowers. He's got some... miners are pretty crummy. But some basic fighting dwarves. Longbeards are, you know, old veteran fighting dwarves with slightly better stats. Honestly, a lot of whether that plan is real or not comes down to whether or not the raised dead pool here is good, and there's just no way to look at it without a lord to hire from it, or without a lord to hire. Yeah, no, I said that right the first time. Do I have hero recruitment available? I don't, so I wouldn't be able to fold a hero into the army immediately. Let's see here. So, when you recruit a fleet admiral, I think I forgot this last time, but it does matter a little bit. You get to pick whether it's a man or a woman, and it makes a difference because they equip different weaponry. The male vampire fleet admirals use a halberd, and the woman vampire fleet admirals are sword and pistol. So you can see the stat difference here. Only 45 melee attack, but 60 defense for the halberd one, but then they have a considerable amount of bonus versus large, whereas the women have much better melee attack. They're a much more like anti-infantry offense kind of vibe. So y'all have Instigator, loyalty from recruiting and fighting with other pirate lords. Loyalty decline rate is lower. If you're a plunderer and an intrigant, gain loyalty from ambush and lightning strike battles with a huge ambush success chance bonus. That's pretty cool. Or we have access to some smugglers. And if we went with one of the men, we have a bunch of murderers, a fire starter, raising settlements, winning siege battles. Okay, and a smuggler and a plunderer. Well, I gotta tell you, the intrigant is the one I'm most interested in terms of the actual skill itself. But I do think the lore of death is a little bit less exciting than the lore of vampires and the lore of the deep. They're sorted by which school of magic they know. It's certainly not terrible, but like... Vampires has all that healing, and then Lore of the Deep has the big cannon spell. And that's maybe all it has, but gosh, I really love the big cannon spell so much. And you know, there's something to be said for the fact that Wendy the Drowned has a very high base loyalty. Alright, let's try this. So in the raised dead pool, we can pull... Yeah, okay, I mean, there's some stuff here that's cool. We definitely want to get all of the real guns. Do we want the bombs? Bomber's kind of a strange unit. Alright, so that's 4,000. And then we would probably pull in just, melee units. So that's 5k, and it brings us up to 27 units in the area.
Do you take me for a wazzock?
Darkness comes.
We don't have anything in the Regiment of Renown table. Right, I can't. I'm not, actually. And see, the thing is, I don't want to put the army inside of Maragliano, because if I put the army inside Maragliano, especially if I put them in there and then I start recruiting, Alaric will just siege it and prevent me from being able to move or anything. If he still wants to go toe-to-toe, we at least have the ability to run away. And so I think I'm not going to... I'm not going to start any recruitment here. I might grab... You know what? Let's grab some more basic melee. Do I want to fill the army out entirely with kind of crummy troops? I guess so. Let's just go to a full stack. It's a bad stack, but it's, you know, it's a large number of bodies now. And hopefully that'll be enough to dissuade him from his attack.
Dare approach a lord of
Didn't change much of their feelings on a peace treaty overall, though. All right, well, we better go find some very large amounts of treasure. If we can just get them to back off, we can spend some time replacing the worst of those troops with real units.
Ignore my crew.
We're a little bit close to, I don't think that's a good idea. We're a little bit close to not being positive on income anymore, and we'd have to definitely keep that in mind when it comes to the danger of recruiting bigger stuff. So those quest pirates are going to be here pretty soon. King Thutmocris has the same read of the battle that I do, which is that it's probably not a good idea for me to attack. It's true in the other direction as well. He's not in a great position to attack me either, but he is just going to stand in my territory and steal my money. Alaric is... Oh, he's running away. I do not wish to intercept.
Get us out of here.
He is allowed to leave. Yeah, he's using an underway move. I'm not sure why he's using an underway move. It seems like a normal run would be the right thing there.
Don't think so.
Yeah. Oh, you know why? Because when you're in underway stance, you don't take most kinds of attrition. So, like, because they're technically underground right now, they're not suffering the vampiric attrition of our lands. It's a little silly, but...
Vampire of the waves.
Or sorry, not Wendy. I want to make sure we're moving our heroes here. So you're going... Yeah, we want to go this way. We want to go east of the mountains and then like cling to the mountains on the way up to see what state Marienburg is in.
Kill or be killed.
All right, Wendy just needs to keep
Astride the way.
sailing up this way. Awful lot of places have seen battles large enough to generate interesting raised dead pools, which is good news for us in the long run. Yeah, this is going to be a problem soon. Or maybe more appropriately, this is already a problem. All right, Pete is just going to get aggressive. Oh, hey, it's Setra. He's still over here.
Do you take me for a
Yeah,
child?
they have no recruitment buildings. There's nothing they can really do except very slowly pull peasants. See, I'm thinking if we put a little bit of pressure down here on the Khemri, we can maybe draw their forces away from the stuff that's really important. If I don't run back to Pyrrhus this turn, I think there's a pretty good chance that Reich Admiral Hoff is going to just burn it. I don't know that Thutmocris probably doesn't just attack Al-Haik right now. Like he probably would give it a minute. He'd probably try to build some siege stuff.
A done deal.
What does this army look like? It's a heck of a lot of melee. Marauder Berserkers, pretty scary damage wise. +5 bonus versus infantry, plus frenzy, plus this berserk passive. But not very well armored. They're easy to kill, certainly. These things are a little bit more impressive. They also have a dragon. Might be worth noting. A couple units of cannons, some skin wolves, which are basically like... They're kind of werewolves, sort of. It is not a trivial army.
Fear the pirate queen.
We'll bury the spoils here.
We have a little bit of help here from Pyrrhus's garrison, at least.
The Queen of Tides!
Yeah, we'll see what Hoaf tries to do here. And if Themocris wants to attack Alhaik, he's welcome to take the swing, I guess. I don't think that's going to work for him.
Landfolk are weak.
What do we want to do with Wendy? Do I think she is enough with the garrison of Riffrafa to keep Alaric from attacking us again? It's definitely a less impressive overall force. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna try it.
Overland.
Again, just stand in reinforcement range.
I will not shame my clan.
The crew are
Actually, in this case, you know what? Let's go inside. I don't know that I want my army to show up 2 minutes into that battle, you know? So we are currently out the money that's being raided, but even so, like even if we had that back, this is still not a great income space. We gotta work some shit out. Is it maybe worth devoting some money? I mean, we gotta spend money on income structures, right? It's a real bummer that the trade goods buildings do not have money attached to them for this faction. So that'd be very helpful. Okay, so Lashiek could build one of these. I mean, I guess for the moment, the thing to do is just build basic money-making buildings everywhere. It is so wild that the gemstone mines are not any more effective than any of the other money-making buildings. Any of the other, what do you call it? Trade resource buildings in general. Okay, these places already have their money-making stuff. Yeesh. Alright. Guess we're doing all we can for the economy. Hope we can resolve this Reich Admiral situation really quickly. Those elves have an awful lot of armies there, and it kind of seems like not very much to do with them. Which makes me a little nervous that we're going to get attacked at some point, because, like, that is how that tends to go eventually. The AI only knows how to understand its options as hammers, and every player looks like a nail. Every human player. Right, I'm glad to see that the Khemri don't think it's worth it to actually attack my cities. We will get to some kind of punishing. That's gonna happen, but we have some other critical business to attend to first, unfortunately. That's annoying. So that hero was able to block our army, which is going to reduce our movement range by some considerable amount. I don't know exactly what level she is, but I believe the lowest value on block army, like the base value, is 50%, and the maximum value is like 85. So yeah, we're gonna be missing a lot of our movement. Riffrafa is under siege, which is dangerous. If we defeat King Thutmokris in the next 4 turns, we'll get some stuff. That's cool.
Balcony of the dead. Pistols ready.
Still pretty far south of our of even the closer of our treasure positions.
Voyaging.
The Dark Elf players are pretty far south here. I guess this bodes well for their capital maybe being valuable.
Where's the lush?
All right, let's try to get on the road over here.
Deck! Move!
So the city that we're looking for, Marienburg, is like, it's like here, I think. So we still got a little bit of a walk.
I'm no mermaid.
We wouldn't quite be able to jump him this turn. But if the Mokris is not going to attack Alhaik right away, then I think we're probably okay to just go and do this.
Swordfish!
Now, the real danger would be if Vicious Gobspit decided to attack us while we were gone. Well, his army overall is actually not all that impressive. It's mostly, these units are just his basic melee unit. And they're not horrible, but you can see 20 melee defense. They have no armor, but they have this magic paint on their bodies that does give them considerable physical resistance.
My ship!
I think we're going to chase him.
Make them fish food! Bloody your cutlasses!
All right, we'll see how they like that. We should be able to withstand them turning around and attacking us in the water. And if Alhaik comes under fire, we can move in and save it from the water. Ugh, Pete's movement is really, really fucked up. Yeah, minus 50%. That is a legitimately... I don't want to overstate it. I don't think they did a thing here that's like super powerful for them. Obviously, they're still going to die just one turn later. But it is a thing that harms me a bunch. It makes it harder for me to pursue my goals. And then Refrafa's under attack. And I assume he's done the math here. And that this battle looks bad for me.
All of aboard!
We could call for help.
Let the bell scream, scream.
But it'll probably be multiple turns before any help is on the way.
Sir,
A valiant defeat. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know that they're wrong about that.
retreat!
Talk at me in your crude language if you must. I make no promises as to the outcome.
What if I were to go to war with somebody that you're fighting? Let's say the Bloody Hands. Oh, he doesn't hate that. What about also the Disciples of the Maw? Ugh, 13.3 is still too much. Yeah, we're just not going to be able to negotiate peace. This tiny little faction, they just have their 3 territories, and I'm sure it's the three settlements that are within this province. Because the thing is, we're now going to have to send a real army back home to deal with this. And that's very annoying. I guess RNS is not that far out, but that is very annoying.
See, father!
All right, yeah, we're leaving Alhaik to deal with itself for a minute. Pete is maybe going to be in position to... I don't know. I don't know what. Looks like the Disciples of the Maw are probably on their last legs, given the amount of green in the comparison bar between us and them. Axolotl is sailing more armies to my shores, because of course they are. I cannot with the fucking dwarves right now. Without these dwarves, we would be in an okay spot. But they are creating a real problem for us that is too far north for us to actually deal with. Okay, Yeah, there's nothing I can do about this.
Avast and draw your blades.
I wonder, will they take this? They did. Huh. That's strange. Just grab like a tiny piece of territory in the middle of my land that they have no way of defending.
Do you wish to join us on this voyage?
Sure. Yeah, especially since you're willing to give me gold for it. I'll do a non-aggression pact with somebody that I was never in danger of being at war with in the first place. Yeah, we are in slightly dire straits here, though. And it's never quite getting better. So every time it seems like we're about to get something accomplished. Yeah, you can go ahead and run away. That's not going to change anything about this next turn. What is the Reich Admiral doing? He's like spawning additional armies? Okay. RNS Assault Spite finally became a seafarer. Len Amstrel's back. Vulture Mountain is experiencing a growth problem.
I'll order it. Brave.
Obviously, we shut this down. I do kind of want to take it, but I wonder if I should burn it for the moment. Both because we could use the money and because it'll be a little bit awkward for the Khemri to claim it that way. It's much easier for them to move in and take over a thing that I already own just through violence. I'm gonna burn it to the ground. That leaves them with nothing, so that faction's just about actually dead. Probably, maybe for real this time, perhaps.
Wave treading.
Oh wow, it's all cliff here, huh? Okay, well, she's gonna get there.
Captain, on deck.
I'll lash the stragglers.
See, the Empire provinces seem to be doing well for themselves. And where is Len exactly? He's in a position where he kind of can't help very much. Like, the only thing he's really good at is killing characters. Well,
Sartosa's most infamous.
alright, let's knock this out.
Show no.
You know, I will just take the auto-resolve close victory. We got stuff to do here.
Salt and blood. We fight.
That's another 1,600, or I might take the replenish. Like, this army's got to get back in fighting strength quickly. And it's not that much money.
You're my food.
All right. Reich Admiral Hoff, whatever, had the first verse of the Lost Sea Shanty. So now we have this thing that we can do in combat where we increase the reload skill and melee defense of all of our units temporarily,
Ready to swordfish.
which is pretty valuable.
Yes. The
And-
winds blow true.
Actually, do we have any other gold rank? Our man-eaters, who are monstrous missile infantry. Oh, well, you know what? The red skill line only affects, it's not types of units, it's specific names of units, which is to say it won't be affecting an ogre off of our pirate captain. So we can probably do something else with our skill point then. Come back and get the rest of these when we have people hitting the gold ranks. So Forger increases income from raiding and kind of nothing else. This gives us an extra bonus versus large. That's something. Upkeep down for units that we don't really have any of in the army. And this is, you know, plus 8% weapon strength on a character is a big deal. Because the base weapon values of character units are so high.
Avast ye and cheer, you curs.
All right, let's get you some dead eyes and the powder keg.
Salt water.
And I think we got to ride north and deal with this. As much as I don't want to spend the time. Well, actually, sorry, we gotta.
Now we're talking.
I should probably crush these dudes real quick.
Bring the storm.
Get out of here.
Rise to battle.
All right, it's another 400 gold.
Mathland's wind.
So I probably want to just get on land at Sartosa. All right, fair enough. We'll be up there in a turn or two. We'll be able to drive back this dwarven nonsense. And I'm just leaving Pete in charge of this whole situation, which seemed reasonable until the damn lizardmen showed up. We know nothing about what to expect from that army. I do not want to put forth the effort to wipe out Karakern. We probably can, but it just seems like a lot of trouble. They're pretty far away from us, and as we spend time with our army, you know, far away from home and in that territory, my guess is other people will become hungrier for war with us. Eager for a little bit of revenge. But I don't know if there's any other way to stop,
The dead will fight.
like, to stop just random dwarf armies from showing up at whatever the worst moment would be. So Pete's going to have to ride up behind the Khemri, reclaim some of our stuff while trying to stay close enough to the coast to deal with the lizardmen when they make landfall. I'm going to send the new army down there because we don't need necessarily a good force to be second in command. Like, Pete can just have a really weak person at his back. That's fine. Did the Chevaliers resettle the fucking settlement? They did. What a bunch of assholes. Just like, in terms of what that's going to do to the amount of time it's going to take me to get back in action, that shit really sucks. Yep.
Lust is upon me.
Alright, well, I have to recruit a new army down south. That said, that army choosing to remain in the settlement probably gets them killed, because I think Aranessa has enough movement to get there. Hooray, income from ports is up. That's nice.
Ready the swordfish.
Aranessa has enough movement to get there in March mode. Wait, the edge of my movement range just fucking disappeared on me. There we go.
Come, crew, move.
All right, we got to break this up. I am not afraid of Alaric Reynoldson's army with this force.
The galleon awaits.
All right, so these enemies are doing things in ways that don't make sense for them, because these are the ways that are the least convenient for me to have to deal with, which is something I really hate when AI does. So what I'd like to do here is move, like, to the side a little bit. When we burn this down a second time, it's going to force us back a huge distance.
Feed.
No, for real. Burn down. Alright, faction destroyed. Fucking finally.
A trusted officer.
Admiral of the fleet.
And camp here. Get your stuff back. It's going to take him like 5 turns to be in position, and there's just nothing we can do about it.
On my way.
But like, we had to shut that faction down. In the long term, that's absolutely the right move. It just is going to suck in the short term. Altdorf's technically coastal. How's Altdorf looking? 500 plus 300 plus 500. Do any of these unique buildings generate money? They don't. So not bad. It's certainly not a bad place for a cove.
I forbid this.
Yeah, his army's just taking no damage at all on anything, so there's no value in using Len against him. So come over here. This Lizardman army might have a hero in it who's worth an assassination.
Swashbuckler.
Okay, 4 turns. We're almost ready. We're almost ready to get Aranessa's last crew
You might be
upgrade.
right.
And we did finish a research. That's true. Hardened Pirate Scum is pretty uninteresting. The First Mate Follower is just a leadership bonus. A little bit of bonus versus infantry is like fine. Upkeep reduction for all of the undead units, basically. You know, it's not terrible. I would rather not start another army just yet. Yeah. Alright, but we finally managed to knock Rapance out of the game, and that is something. It's something of actual real value. If we could get enemies from distant points of the world to stop sending armies to attack me when they really should be having other things to do, we'd be really solid, actually. I think we could solidify. All right, Sorcerer's Islands is going to be impossible to defend. Yeah, that's really a bummer. And we need like a couple thousand more gold income for per turn before I will feel like we are in a place to really put together another army, another like non-emergency army. Pete's probably 2 turns away from even reclaiming the closest of the cities that the Khemri are being spiteful about right now. So we're probably going to lose like our whole coastline temporarily, and in a way that like will not actually be a problem for us to get back. But it's still annoying just because we don't have enough bodies on the ground to be everywhere and accomplish everything all the time. All right. Movement range up or casualty replenishment range up. We need movement range. Elf stuff is happening down in Elf Town. We're just going to allow it to.
Indeed. En route.
Try to take the road up from Isleheart. We're pretty close to Marienbad now. Marienburg? Whatever. We're pretty close to whatever it is.
No prey, no pay. Deckhands, forward!
Okay, we might actually make Martek next turn with the bonus movement. Yep, and as long as Riff Rafa kind of, sort of, belongs to the dwarves, we can't actually follow that army. Because we'd have to go so far around it.
We're here now. The tides.
Get our commandment back in
The
place.
queen of tides.
Go ahead and take this since we can. Once again, we are working toward utility belt.
Sartosa's most infamous.
You can build me a money-making building. So Ranulfson,
I will not disgrace my ancestors.
yeah, we could beat this army, I'm pretty sure. Pretty cleanly. Pete's on his way to get stuff done. Yeah, it's just annoying because, like, the enemies can kind of, like, nip at the edges of your empire in so many different ways, and there's only so much you can do about it. I guess we're gonna have to probably sail over and kill Hexawaddle. That's not a thing I'm really looking forward to. It seems like it's going to be a lot of trouble. But my guess is they will never ever accept peace. Lizardmen factions can get stubborn like that.
Brave guns, fight.
But, like, what is going on that they can afford to be running multiple armies all the way across the world, like having no effect on the map at all for 6 or 7 turns worth of crossing time? You know what? Fine. I will take your money to get into a war with a player who is nowhere near me and only has one settlement, it looks like. Ikit Claw has been doing some good work in that conflict. I trust him to keep it under control. Should I be trusting Skaven AI? That's, I guess, you know, when you put it that way, it doesn't sound so good. So we should at this point have full vision of that army of lizardmen since there was a battle. I did not actually look at their composition during the battle, but I have a better idea of whether Pete has a chance of standing up to them.
Call me mermaid.
Sure. Yep.
The dead will fight.
All right. That's an annoyance, but it really isn't anything more than an annoyance. Like, Pete will wipe that faction out trivially.
Ready the swordfish. Pirate's life.
Somehow Aranessa leveled up after after the turn started. Yeah, this just kind of isn't anything. So next up is personal combat stuff, right? Yellow line stuff. Flat 5% damage reduction is pretty decent for a skill point.
Plunder.
So we're just going to cut off Alaric Ranulfson here. Apparently I'm not allowed to just run to attack him. That move was available to me, but hitting him wasn't. The raised Deadpool has not recovered. So we're not likely to be able to put together a new army very quickly. Ugh, Martek is just out of movement range. That's really annoying.
You're aligned.
Well, I think we do need to take it back.
A resolution.
We'll clean this bullshit up, and then we'll worry about nonsense over here.
10,000 lashes. Very well.
Okay, Marienburg belongs to the Reichlanders, and it's not quite max level, but it's upgrading currently. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and put in a pirate cove there. That can be what we're putting money toward for the moment. So this army does not, in fact, have any heroes. Which means Len kind of can't do anything at all to these enemies. I guess I will just do something for XP. Fail at it, of course. I mean, it almost goes without saying, really. I'm not going to bother repairing that stuff because it's probably just going to get destroyed again. So, like, do I want to have Aranessa ride north and just destroy this dwarf player? I probably can. It would be enough to get to peace, right? Like, that's what I really care about. All right, hopefully this money will be enough to help us get that pirate cove online. Or, you know, even if we don't necessarily have the income to reliably run a, what do you call it? To reliably run a third army, if we can just get a big, fat stack of cash to allow us to temporarily run the third army, just keep it flowing while we are still bringing stuff in, that might be worthwhile. Those two aren't at war, and we probably won't be able to convince them to go to war against each other because, you know, they are unlikely to listen to us, the person they're at war with. The funny thing is, for a lot of factions, this would represent sort of a stagnation in the acquisition of their goals, but it's not a big deal for us because mostly what we need to be doing is like fighting battles and stuff, you know. We don't get infamy from holding more cities in the desert. They're just gonna raid that one settlement over and over again. Okay, go to war with... Nope, no thank you.
Fleet captain reporting. Onwards.
Check it out. It's some kind of... It's a body of pink bubbling water that is on fire.
Thin out the cattle.
3,000 gold and an obsidian lodestone. That is not, in fact, a great hoard of treasure. We were lied to. Okay, there's crappy treasure right next to us. That's fun. All right, so Lottie.
Captain.
Well,
We'll send a
it's enough to start establishing.
Plenty of plunder. Crew, salute your betters.
Okay. So he is doing this annoying dance back and forth.
Fear the pirate queen!
And I'm not allowed to catch up with him, even though that's ridiculous. So, how do I want to deal with this?
Domain.
Here, we know we're doing this. May as well go ahead and do that.
Fight. Make yourselves at home. Where to?
In theory, we're doing this, but like obviously Vulture Mountain is going to fall, so.
Even Pitra gave me his sword.
How do we...
Offer thrall.
They're at war with a different Lizardman faction. I probably cannot influence these two to start fighting each other, unfortunately.
Darkness comes.
Yeah, gosh, I just need more. I need more income than we're going to be able to generate.
Swordfish.
All right, well, I'm going to move to like here.
Yes.
Sort of like halfway in between the positions. If Alaric runs any direction other than east, I think we can get him now. Let's throw some damage on this army now that it has sustained some attrition damage. Or, sorry, hinder its replenishment. No, of course not. Critical failure. Len is fucking, like... The expected value of almost every ability we've used with that character over the entirety of his life has been 50%. And that's what, the third time he's managed to get himself wounded without accomplishing a single goddamn thing? It's like he flips a coin over and over and over again, and more often than it landing heads, it turns sideways and inserts itself fully into his eye. It just keeps happening. Somehow it just keeps happening. All right, from here, Pete can probably
I forbid this.
impose a little bit of a threat to somebody. I mean, God, he better be able to. Obviously, we could just retake Kofor and just focus on defending this province and just sort of like let all the other stuff go. Maybe that's the play. Yeah, we definitely need Aranessa back down there. Ikit, what are you doing? Yep. I really hate that the Lizardmen decided to just back off. Like, those two forces are communicating together, they're coordinating, and I don't like it. I do not like it when my enemies do that. So Vulture Mountain's going to take a little bit of effort for them to bring down because it has a reasonable garrison structure, it has walls, and the forces they're running are not legitimately good. But I don't see us saving it. Okay, this is a huge mistake on his part. Yep, he's dead now. That's good news. Can't really tell what those orcs are doing. Alright, Aranessa is trying so hard. Yep, settlements are besieged. Lots of stuff's going on. Oh, one of the main Wood Elf factions was completely destroyed when they lost that settlement that we saw the Skaven take from them. Oh, it's interesting. Aranessa's ambush was foiled. But he still didn't actually, like, he still just did this with his turn? Ugh, come on. You're going to make me do this manually so as not to lose a bunch of high-level units? They are. They absolutely are. Okay, that's very annoying. And it's not a thing we're going to do an hour and 4 minutes into the episode. So I guess this is where we're going to call it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. This is such a frustrating part of this campaign. We're not losing. Like, these forces don't have what it takes to inflict any lasting damage on us, but they can if they all work together in perfect sync, which they can because they are essentially all one player, make our lives really annoying, put up problems that we have to respond to and have to solve, but that aren't actually like a huge danger to us. And I just can't wait for it to be over. The defeat of Alaric Ranulfson will be the first of a few steps in that direction. So come back next time for that, and we'll see you then.